Right? Because their dwelling shall be upon the earth and inside the earth. Evil spirits have come out of their bodies. Because from the day that they were created, from the holy ones, they became the watchers. Their first origin is the spiritual foundation. They will become evil upon the earth and shall be called evil spirits. The dwelling of the spiritual beings of heaven is heaven, but the dwelling of the spirits of the earth, which are born upon the earth, is in the earth.
What verse you on?
11.
Okay.
2 more verses.
Okay.
The spirits of the giants oppress each other. They will corrupt, fall, be excited,
right,
and fall upon the earth,
right,
and cause sorrow. They eat no food, nor become thirsty, nor find obstacles. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of the people and against the women, because they have proceeded forth from them.
See, so y'all, look who they coming after again. Do y'all think it's a coincidence in the same 1 Corinthians 11 we talk about the head coming under prayer for the women? What does Paul say that's because why a woman have to have
because of the angels? He says
because of the angel. Wow. Do you think that means the son of Adam? How he gonna speak about righteousness and don't tie the sons of men in there? He would have said, who are ye? Women, you have to cover your heads or have a covering over you, because there's a lot of things that comes down in the Bible, y'all. The Bible is foolproof. This is what it's going to say in a nutshell. Women, if you're having sex and you don't have a husband, you have to take the title harlot. Don't make you a low person in the earth no more than a child being born and don't know who the father is, and he's called a bastard. Because we read in Judges 11, Jephthah, that great warrior of Israel, his mother was a harlot. Samson married a harlot. The two children brought to King Solomon, where the term split the baby came from, were both harlots. Rahab the harlot, but she's going to be in the kingdom. So understand what it means. It just means that until you get a head over you, a covering, as long as you have an intercourse, that title remains. Now understand this, there's certain conditions that put you in there. Your covering dies, or whatever, no money left. So this is why the only time you read in the Bible where a harlot is punished by the Most High is if she was married. Proverbs 7 chapter. That harlot, it says the husband is going on a long journey.
The good man is going on a long journey.
Going on a journey. Look, so when Christ met the woman at the well, he told her, I'm he, that you'll never thirst for water again. And he said, Christ said, where your husband at?
First thing he asked.
First thing he asked, what a man in your life at? Right. She said, I ain't got no husband. He said, you're right. You done had 5 husbands. And the man you with now ain't your husband. But did he condemn her? She went and told, he said, go tell the brother about me. And she went and told him, y'all, I just met the Messiah. He's on earth right now. Not one thing about, like the woman who was brought to him caught in sin when the Pharisee was trying to set her up and say, we caught her in adultery in the very act, but didn't have the man there, like the law say, bring both them to be stoned. So Christ told her sin and go no more. But he didn't say nothing to this woman. All we're saying is there's nowhere in the scripture that you can find 2 single people having intercourse, and it's called sin. It's not the will of God, but it's a permissive will until a person can get to their point where they understand this process, because you're going to get tired of this handle. And men will get tired of the handle of whoremonger when you know it. Because you say it now. Oh, he ain't nothing but a going to girl. That's all he is. You'll be a notch on his belt. So y'all, when you continue on like that, it will bring a man to a price of bread, which will then turn you back to where you're supposed to be. And you'll say, I could have spent this change on her. Look, if you go to the strip club, you know you try to make it rain. How you in there with drizzle money, you know this bill money, and you got a wife here, and you trying to, it costs for that side of life to have fun like that. Throwing up 40 G's and No. So y'all, we want you to understand that how important it is that you understand the head covering of the woman. If Christ is not your spiritual head covering or your husband until you get one, your head must be covered when praying or prophesying, because that's when the angels come. Numbers 30 say the same thing. If you read Numbers 30, it talks about the power, the Christ is the head of man, the Father is the head of Christ, Christ is the head of man, man head of woman. And when you read Numbers 30, you will see that order all through there. A righteous man, he can hear his wife praying, and it ain't right, he can say, no, Lord, not so. And I just want Henry to be a real man. Do things like we see in that movie. Please, Lord. He's like, no, Lord, disavow that. And if she say that and he hearing it, I ain't bringing it like I should, I'm scared. Lord, will make me that way. Oh, you're going to be turned into a whoremonger by the wishes of her. Y'all, this thing is bigger than we think. All colognes and different things brings and draws spirit. You got to be careful what you put on you. All of that acts, y'all, you have to be careful. All of this leading to spirits.
Hey, that commercial that ain't just falling. That commercial that ain't just falling.
There's things that draw to you. This is what he was just reading, how to do charms, how to create smoke and different things, and it brings them demons around, and here they come. Let's read some more, y'all, because we run out of time. I want to get right to it. Okay, so y'all see what happened with those sons of the giants. They are evil spirits still on the earth.
Exactly.
They don't eat today, that's why they eat off of you. That's why they eat you alive. When there's something plaguing you, weight loss, you have to starve them out. High holy day coming up, the Day of Atonement, is a day for that. 24-hour fasting to starve whatever demons you got trying to take over your earthly temple, your fleshly temple.
That's right.
They're trying to become the head of the household. If the words of the Most High is there, it cannot get below 51%, and your flesh is trying to take over like Satan. And your flesh better stay at 49%. Because if it equal out 50-50, your flesh, which is full of sin, or the spirit in you, you're going to have roommates in your temple. You know what that's called? Bipolarism. This one show up one day, and then this one show up. Well, you know, I had my AWS on me today. That's why I was acting that way. What? And then the next day you giving out to turkeys. He a good person, he just bad sometimes. Romance. The spirit has to rule your temple where Satan want to get swine in there at a feast to his gods. What you got, brother?
That's why that scripture tells us the man don't eat off bread alone.
Absolutely. You know what I'm going.
You purge yourself like that, you need something to strengthen you when your body lacking that normal bread nourishment that you need. You need that spiritual nourishment to keep you strengthened while you purge them evil spirits around you.
Look, the Day of Atonement is 24 hours.
24.
We read of Christ, Moses, and Elijah doing 960 hours of fasting with no food and water.
40 days, 40
Look, if you crying at hour number 22 and legs shaking, it won't be long tonight. No, y'all, you can go look. Normally, the body breaks down 3 days after no water, 72 hours. Decomposition takes in. That's when chapped lips come. When you get chapped lips, you already dehydrated. You already dehydrated. Oh, 2 weeks without food, you can live. But when Christ talk about that living water that get inside you, you will go on and on, y'all, and you won't even know. When you get into the spirit of this, when the spirit is ruling, earthly food don't even play a part. Y'all, we got to get back to that realm where we're not dependent on food. That's why gluttony is a sin. You don't live to eat, you eat to live. Where we at? Let's get this up. I want to just read right quick so we'll understand that spirits, you can feel them. Hit that Job chapter 4 for me. And y'all, we're going to hit these jubilees. We're going to come back to them though, because I want to roll a little bit with Christ and talking about these spirits and how they do host bodies of swine. Y'all, they're trying to change his DNA. Even Daniel prophesied in Daniel the 2nd chapter. It's going to be a mixture of humankind with strange flesh. When it says strange flesh, you will never see women called strange flesh if a man go into them. They're called strange wives. They're different from the wives that he said for us because you have to be one spirit. Now, if you marry a woman and she love Allah, you know what you mean. Y'all can be one flesh all day, but you can't never be one spirit. So you're going to go to bed angry, plot murder on one another. That nigga said about Allah, antifreeze in his coffee. What she say about my God, and you married? Can't be yoked together like